John F. Kennedy International Airport is one of 3 airports that serve the New York City, New Jersey metro area. Known as the Eastern Gateway of the United States, at least when you look at the commercial aviation industry, it is the main airport for most transatlantic flights. As time has gone on, the need to expand and modernize JFK Airport has been in the tables for decades. What's going on, everyone? My name's Cool Titanium 68, and on today's 10th episode of American Airport Expansions, we are taking a look at a new JFK, the plan to modernize and rebuild JFK. So for those of y'all that are curious what this will be about, I highly recommend watching the second episode of this series going over JFK Airport. Reason why I'm looking at this airport is because of a few reasons. The first one is this is by far the most viewed video on the channel as of recording this video. And the second reason is since that video was released almost 6 years ago, a lot has gone on since then. Actual construction is the first thing that's gone on, but also plans have changed and evolved as the official plans were revealed. Now, you might ask, for those of you that don't actually go and watch it, what is a new JFK? So this plan is a $19 billion program to redevelop the airfield at JFK Airport. By building 2 giant new terminals, modernizing existing terminals, and reconfiguring the roadways to and from each terminal, there are 5 separate projects going on in this program. Let's start off with probably the biggest one, that's codenamed New Terminal 1. Now, the current Terminal 1, so this was built in 1998 by the direction of the Terminal 1 group, which consisted of 4 key airlines: Air France, Japan Airlines, Korean Air, and Lufthansa. Now, the previous Terminal 1 opened up with the airport in 1959 and was the main terminal for Eastern Airlines up until its collapse in 1991. It sat vacant for years until it was demolished in 1995 for the current site of Terminal 1. Now, this is what Terminal 1 looks like today. Is this what this looks like right now? Absolutely not. That's what it looks like today. So there's not really much left with Terminal 1 because this is going to be New Terminal 1. And the plan is they're going to build the first concourse coming down here through Terminal 3. Because if you guys saw the last one, this was Terminal 2, and this is where Delta Airlines was also based out of, on top of Terminal 4. And we'll talk more about Terminal 4. Pretty much all the stuff there is done, but this whole area is going to be one brand new terminal. And they've already got most of the, well, I would say a good chunk of the main building built out, at least from February, because guys, yeah, this is the most recent one from March. This is not as of October. They don't put this out like every month for that. Now, the new Terminal 1 is going to almost double the amount of gates that current Terminal 1 has. So, comprising 23 gates, this 2.6 million square foot terminal will replace the current Terminals 1 and 2 at a cost of $9.5 billion. It is set to become the gold standard for designing terminals and hopes to become one of the top 10 best terminals in the world. In this terminal, all but one gate will accompany wide-body planes like the A350 and Boeing's 777 and 787. Now, 4 of those 22 gates will be big enough to accommodate the A380. And as I said before, this will open in phases, with the first phase opening in 2026. In this first phase, the airport will open the new departure and arrival hall, as you guys had saw there with most of that construction, as I'll show y'all there. So this is most of the departure and arrival hall that's been built, and they're going to build the first set of 14 gates on the former site of Terminal 2 and 3. These former gates will also extend onto the former site of Terminal 3. Once this phase is finished, all the airlines will move out of the current Terminal 1 to, well, New Terminal 1, so that the current Terminal 1 can be demolished. From here, the next phase will add 5 gates that will open in 2028, with the third phase opening in 2030, with the last 4 gates. In the event of excess traffic, there is a proposal to add an additional 4 gates to the west side, with one of those gates being able to accommodate an Airbus A380. Now, the next tax we'll talk about is the expansion of Terminal 4. Opened in 2001, this replaced JFK's old International Arrivals building, and it's been expanded multiple times since its opening. Now, back in 2013, they completed a $1.4 billion project to add mechanized check-in bag screenings on top of a centralized security checkpoint, and 9 international gates, among others. Now, in what's known as Terminal 2.5, which is mostly complete outside of roadway expansion leading in and out of the terminal itself, this plan adds to add an additional 10 gates to Concourse A side of Terminal 4. So that is this side right over here. Actually, no, I think it's either down here, which is Concourse A, or this is Concourse B. I don't remember off the top of my head. I have not flown out of JFK International Airport. I also don't fly Delta. Even if we did, we'd be flying out of Terminal 8 over here with American Airlines. But the 2 times I've gone to LA, we've flown into LaGuardia, so I am not 100% sure on that. Now, the reason why they did this is because since Delta Airlines doesn't have a Terminal 2 anymore, they consolidated all of their operations to Terminal 4 so that they can demolish Terminal 2 for the new Terminal 1, as we just spoke about. Now, Terminal 4 is also the only other terminal at JFK Airport that has big enough gates to accommodate the Airbus A380. The airlines that serve this Terminal 4 outside of Delta include Aeromexico, Air Europa, China Airlines, Kenya Airlines, KLM, Virgin Atlantic, Xiamen Air, Air India, Avianca, Copa Airlines, Singapore Airlines, Caribbean Airlines, El Al, Emirates, Latin Peru, Uzbekistan Airways, and WestJet. With Terminal 4 having 2 concourses and it being Delta's hub, Concourse A has most of the Asian and some European carriers alongside Delta connection flights. Concourse B serves both domestic and international flights for Delta, as well as their SkyTeam partners like Kenya Airlines, Aeromexico, and KLM, among others. And next up, let's take a look at a brand new Terminal 6. Historically, there was a terminal, so this is currently, I believe this is Terminal 5, and this used to be Terminal 7 right here. So this was Terminal 5 right along here, and then Terminal 7 was right here. And there used to be a Terminal 6 down here, but what they did is when Trans World Airlines was taken out, this used to be the Trans World Airlines Flight Center. That's now a hotel used up with JetBlue, and they built this Terminal 5 here about 10 years ago. Now, the old Terminal 6 had 14 gates and served as National Airlines' hub up until 1980 when Pan American Airlines acquired the airline. Afterwards, Trans World Airlines expanded into the terminal, connecting it to their TWA Flight Center, which is now part of Terminal 5 as the TWA Hotel. As Trans World Airlines reduced flights out of JFK, other carriers like United Airlines, ATA Airlines, a reincarnated Pan American 2, Carnival Airlines, Vanguard Airlines, and American West Airlines used the terminal. Now, in 2000, JetBlue expanded into Terminal 6 and would be the main tenant until 2008. At that point, JetBlue moved into Terminal 5 and Terminal 6 was demolished in 2011. Now, this new Terminal 6 started construction in 2023. And as you guys can see here, this is what it looks like right now. What it's going to do is it's going to connect into Terminal 5. And then once these gates here are built out, let me zoom out a little bit. They're going to tear out Terminal 7, which a lot of the airlines that were in Terminal 7, like British Airways and I think Japan Airlines, they actually moved over to Terminal 8 about like 5 or 6 years ago. They redid some of the gates here so that they could accommodate some of the larger wide-body aircraft needed from Terminal 7. Now, at a cost of $4.2 billion, this will add 10 gates, 9 of which will be wide bodies. This will directly connect to Terminal 5 and is being built under a public-private partnership between the Port Authority and a consortium including JetBlue, RXR Realty, JFK Millennium Partners, and the Vantage Air Group. The first phase will open in 2026, and then following the demolition of Terminal 7, the terminal will fully open in 2028. Carriers like British Airways and Iberia have already moved out of Terminal 7 and into Terminal 8 in anticipation for Terminal 7. Now, the owners of Terminal 7 are also owned by the same partners building Terminal 6 and will most likely move everyone into Terminal 6 once the first phase opens in 26. Now, these are the main projects that are a part of the new project codenamed A New JFK. When fully completed at the end of the decade, John F. Kennedy Airport will have a total of 149 gates. 145 of these gates will have jetways and 4 will have hard stands. There are some other projects that were proposed, like the widening of Van Wyck Parkway. Thank God I said that right this time. I got so much flack for saying it improperly last time. And Grand Central Parkway, as well as adding cars to the Air Trans sets and possibly rebuilding the Jamaica station and better connect that station to the Long Island Railroad and New York City subways. Now, no start dates have been proposed for those projects, but if I had to guess, these projects will most likely start once these first phases of these new terminals are complete, just to kind of see what more of the traffic will entail when it comes to coming from the Jamaica station going into John F. Kennedy Airport. So this is JFK Airport. It is served by the Red Line. I think that's what it is. But the Jamaica station connects this up to, again, the Long Island Railroad, as well as a bunch of other stations in and around New York City. Takes you directly into Manhattan, and then some other places through Brooklyn, going in through Long Island, etc. But they could very easily try and maybe rebuild this at least a Jamaica station leading up to JFK, so that they could expand and add some more traffic as more and more people start to fly into John F. Kennedy International Airport. And with that, we're going to end the video here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching our latest video over JFK Airport. If you like what you watch, leave a like and subscribe down below. If you don't want to miss any future videos, hit that bell icon so you're the first ones to know when the next video drops. Lastly, leave a comment down below letting me know what airport in America I should go over next. I'm already starting to work on a new list of airports. We've got one on that list from last week where someone recommended Fort Lauderdale. If you guys can keep adding, or at least giving more suggestions, we're gonna have a longer list, and then you, the viewers on YouTube, are gonna be given polls as to what airport we should work on for the next week once we're done going through all these other airports that we've already talked about. Outside of that, again, hope you guys have a great day. Hope to see y'all later. Peace.